Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating and honestly powerful trend that's reshaping households all across China. We're talking about the incredible rise of pet ownership and the massive economy that's just exploded around it. And it all boils down to this one simple but really powerful emotional truth. For millions and millions of people, these aren't just animals that live in our house. They've become these cherished, vital members of the family. They share our homes, our lives. It's just a much deeper connection than ever before. So, welcome to Salon. In today's session, we're going to break down a super important report that puts some real, hard numbers behind this emotional shift we're all seeing. We're basically talking about the future members of our families and the whole economy they're building. Okay, so where is all this information coming from? The foundation for our entire chat today is the 2026 Pet Industry White Paper. This report was just published back in January of 2026 by Henzhou ZE Technology Company, and it gives us this fantastic, data-driven look into what's really going on. All right, let's get into our first section. You see, this shift, this elevation of pets to family status, it's not just a social trend. It has created an absolutely enormous new economic sector. We're talking about something way, way bigger than just companionship here. And this quote from the report just hits the nail on the head. It says, driven by emotional needs, the pet market is expanding steadily. That's it. That's the engine driving this entire industry. It's not about utility or anything like that. It's all about that human desire for connection, for affection, and that translates directly into spending. Which, of course, brings us to the numbers. Let's get into the core data from the white paper. Because if you really want to understand just how big this trend is, well, you've got to follow the money. So, I've got a question for you. Just take a guess. Based on everything we've talked about, this growing emotional investment, what do you think the market's going to be worth? Just throw a number out there. For China's urban pet market projected just a couple of years from now in 2028. 405 billion yen. Wow. Just let that number sink in for a second. This is not some little niche market. It is a massive pillar of the consumer economy. And guess what? It's on track to get even bigger. And look, this isn't just a flash in the pan. Check out this trajectory. Back in 2024, the market was already huge, at over 300 billion won. By 2026, it's expected to hit nearly 341 billion. And then, by 2028, it smashes through that 400 billion won mark. This is steady, it's predictable, and it's incredibly strong growth. Okay, so we know the market is huge, and it's growing like crazy, but what's actually happening inside that market? Let's jump to our next section and see how what people want in a pet is changing. Let's answer the big question, who's the top pet in China today? This chart gives us a fantastic snapshot from 2024. And now, these numbers might surprise you. A whopping 64.3% of urban pet owners have a cat. Now, dogs are still incredibly popular, with 57% of owners having a dog. And of course, you can see there are healthy markets for fish, reptiles, and other pets. The key thing to see here, though, is that there has been a major shift right at the top. And yeah, this image kind of says it all, doesn't it? For so many years, the dog was the undisputed king of the household. But as that data just showed us, cats haven't just caught up, they've actually moved ahead. And this isn't just some cute rivalry. It is a fundamental economic shift. So what we're really witnessing is the rise of what we can call the cat economy. Now, don't get me wrong, the dog economy is still a huge established market, but the data is clear. More households now have cats than dogs. This surge in popularity for our feline friends is totally reshaping everything, from pet food and toys all the way to veterinarian services. Okay, so we've covered the emotion, we've followed the money, and we've seen the big shifts in the market. Let's pull it all together now and boil this entire report down to its three most important findings. What does this all really mean? All right, here are the three big takeaways. First, emotion is what drives the growth. The whole value of this market is built on us treating our pets like family, the humanization of pets. Second, the economic scale is just massive. We're talking about an industry worth hundreds of billions that's now a major part of consumer spending. And third, the cat economy is now dominant. This isn't a fad, it's a deep structural shift in what consumers want, and businesses really need to pay attention. And all of this leaves us with one final big question to think about. This whole trend is about a pet changing from being an it to being a member of the family. So as that transformation keeps going, where do you think the next big market opportunity is going to be? I mean, think about it. From pet insurance to specialized nutrition to end-of-life care, the possibilities are as deep as the bond we share with them. Thanks for joining me for this breakdown.